What happens when a prehistoric death dragon with a bad attitude and a taste for humans relocates to a small lake town in Maine?
Someone who shouldn't be there, that doesn't want to be there, somehow finds romance in all of the wrong places, and yet they forget one?
Uh, Find out next on Trees in Space. Welcome, everyone. And in case you missed the thumbnail, this week we watched the film Lake Placid from 1999. I'm Jason, and that's Nate. And this was a movie.
It was a movie. It was you know what? I went
Tell me.
into this movie very shitty. Very,
Have you
very
not seen it
shitty.
before?
No, this is the first time I've ever seen this movie. Best part of this movie, anytime Betty White is on the camera.
Betty White is amazing in this film. She's amazing in everything she does, and I think when she said, "If I had a dick, this is where I'd tell you to suck it."
Yeah. I didn't realize how fucking funny this woman is.
I'm sorry, sweetie. Honey Badger doesn't give a shit. No, the guys at Pie Curious were right. Once you go Blackberry. Professional jealousy is a terrible thing.
Yeah.
Let's start with her line.
Yes.
Bitch.
I know what action means.
So do I, but it's been so long.
Or was. She is absolutely amazing.
She really is. I mean, she stole the movie. I mean, it's her movie. She's hardly in it. She's in it maybe 5 minutes total.
Well, then, even when she's not on the move, she's there even not on film. Like, at one point, they're like, let me guess. She didn't want to tell us about the other one because she thought we were going to kill it.
That's
Yep.
true. I mean, she's yeah. And she makes some good points, but before we get to the actual movie, let me explain a little bit. There's a nice little blurb here. I'll try to go through this as fast as I can. When a mysterious creature violently kills a man in Maine, a lake of Maine, Jack Wells, which is Bill Pullman, love him, the local game warden, looks into a bizarre case along with Sheriff Hank Conant, who's Brendan Gleeson, and visiting paleontologist Kelly Scott, who's Bridget Fonda. Looking for clues in a tooth that he's left behind, Kelly and the others eventually locate the monster, a massive and vicious reptile eager to devour anything in its path, including Cocaine Bear. Can the crocodile-like creature be stopped? So that's the premise of the movie.
This movie, how can I describe this movie? Jason, how can I do this? How can I articulately regurgitate audible sentences to describe the movie that I watched of Lake Placid that doesn't happen at Lake Placid? Because there's another lake named Lake Placid that was already named and they wouldn't rename it. So they renamed this Lake Placid something else. Did you catch that in the beginning of this movie? At the very beginning, they're like, yeah, it's like Lake Schmitten or something like that. It's
yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. I thought you were talking like real life stuff. Okay. I'm sorry.
No. I'm talking about in this movie. And then I'm like, well, then why didn't you name the movie Lake Schmitten or whatever? Like, why did you name the movie Lake Placid and just not say it's Lake Placid? But the lake is very just still, calm, placid. But I just thought that was a real weird thing to even bring up. And then the paleontologist,
yes, Bridget Fonda,
zero reason to be in this movie.
Exactly. I mean, her boss or whatever sends her to Maine because of this thing, and she gets there, and I get it, but after a minute or two, once you figure out certain things, like you find dead bodies and mooses being decapitated and drug whatever, get off the lake and just say, you know what, there's something there.
They send her to Maine. First of all, couldn't they have just taken the tooth, put it in a FedEx box, and shipped the tooth to the museum in New York? There was no reason to fly this woman to Maine. And this movie was done in 1999. What part of Alaska were they flying to? Because it's not that remote in fucking Maine. There's an actual goddamn airport, a real one, that you can take a big plane to and land. They paid somebody to two-seater her from New York to Maine. Is that what I'm trying to assume here? So they spent all this money to send her there. Plus, what? Okay, I'm finding more problems with this movie as I go on. I'm so sorry. You may not have a moment, but the mere fact that they are paying this woman to take a vacation in Maine, and the only reason why she's in fucking Maine is because her boss, who was her fucking boyfriend, is fucking her friend who works there as well. Like, and then she gets fucking, she sees the game warden and is like, sploosh. Like, are you fucking like, really?
No. She was mean to everyone when she got there. She was rude to everyone at first. Yeah, but that's but my favorite, I mean, like you said, Betty White is definitely the best part, but I also love the back and forth between the sheriff and Oliver Platt's character, the crocodile expert. I missed the part where how he found out about the crocodile. But he just shows up.
In
a helicopter.
Yeah, blonde chick. What's her name? The lead woman.
Yes, Kelly. Kelly's the name of her.
Kelly. So Kelly lets them know like who this guy is, Oliver, whatever.
Right.
And she's like, oh, he must have found out. Like, he just.
How did? I mean, did he just Facebook feed, even though Facebook didn't come out like 2007? I mean, it's like he was a great part of the movie too. I mean, the characters themselves, most of them I thought were pretty good and well defined, what kind of people they are. But that relationship between these two was hilarious.
If you just overlook all of the backstory for every character, this movie's great. The fact that they identified the gator or crocodile as an Asian crocodile, they showed them looking it up. They showed the research, like, oh yeah, this guy had these like ventricle this, and did you see this? Like, it was this is it. And they're like, that's got to be more than 30 feet, the biggest. And it was like, okay. And the wealthy dude, he knew his stuff. Yeah, he was loopy and kind of weird, but that was fantastic.
I thought so too. I also thought the props designers or whatever, the people who created the gator, because I don't believe that was computer rendered.
Oh, there was animatronic on that thing,
and they did a great job with the alligator. I mean, sorry, the crocodile. And I think Bill Pullman, who the game warden guy, he's probably my least favorite character in the show, the movie.
Yeah, you could have done the movie like he was. I felt like he was. He felt like he was there because he had to be there.
Right.
Like, it must be tough to be a lead in a movie and be overshadowed by an animatronic gator.
And you better do something about this one, because I don't intend to go through that hell again.
Yeah, and everyone else.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the writers of this obviously did some research for crocodiles, and they wrote the smart characters to be smart. No one was a total buffoon, like messing up everything. Mm-hmm. Betty White was, but because she was doing it on purpose.
Yeah, they're her babies.
She was just, yes, and she was saying, "Hey, this is his lake. No one lives on this lake. Leave him alone."
Yeah.
So why can't you? And she made a good point. It's that alligator's lake. God dang it, crocodile.
I know it's hard because you got alligators where you are.
But the end. I thought it was really cool because they were gotta kill it. No, we need to take it out of here alive. It's a big species, and they ended up doing that with the one. Oh, there was two. By the way, there was two crocodiles, which is important to the very end of the movie. Mm-hmm. The one got caught in the helicopter. That was the weirdest thing.
I think that was. You thought that was the weirdest thing? I thought the gator being strapped onto an open bed flatbed truck and being driven down the middle of I-90 or wherever with a car in front of it and a car in back of it. What the is going to happen when that thing wakes up?
Well, I mean,
those straps are not going to hold that gator.
But that was weird because they even said it in the movie. The writer of the movie said something like that. So we captured the crocodile with the helicopter. I was like,
yeah, he's like, we caught it with a helicopter. Here you go.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other gator shows up, almost kills Pat, whatever name, Ray. Almost kills Ray.
Ray.
And the sheriff shoots it with the big bazooka gun and kills it.
Oh, and he was very satisfied with that.
Yes, and that's another thing I liked about the movie is the main character. They didn't get killed. I figured one was going to be killed, at least one. The sheriff, and people got killed, just not many. And I really enjoyed that part. What?
I think only two guys died.
So he don't want to eat people because crocodiles just don't eat people, I guess. But
yeah, I guess that's true. He threw up the big toe. Oh, that was great when Ray was like, "Here's your friend," and then just walks away.
It had its moments. It's as a whole, and it was less than 90 minutes, so I appreciate the runtime on it.
Oh my god, that was so brilliant! It wrapped everything up very nice and tight bow. It I watched it in the morning. I woke up before everybody. I had a cup of coffee. I sat in the studio here, and I just watched it, and I was like,
And the end of the movie, Betty White's there with her feet on the dock, and she's putting bread out there for little baby crocodiles.
What is this, a horror comedy? Like, do you know what the genre of this is?
It's a horror comedy is what it said, but I did not know that when I put this paperwork together, so I just put this film because...
Yeah, I just don't see how a crocodile movie can be a horror movie. No, sci-fi, maybe, I guess. I don't know.
Jaws isn't a horror movie. It's a thriller. I guess this has been a thriller.
Jaws is a thriller. That's probably more thrilling than Halloween.
What did he say?
Take that for a hot take.
Yeah, but I still think Jaws kills Michael Myers. So that's a good point. I mean, if they're in the water. If they're on land, I think Michael has a...
I think they both die.
That. So
I honestly think it's a stalemate. I think Jaws gets that good bite in him, and Michael Myers just gets him right in that one sweet spot, and then they just both go floating away like this.
Oh, I love it. I should make that movie. Because I have the money to do that.
Are they public domain yet?
Probably not. No, because I just redid a Halloween. Jaws might be. Rotten Tomatoes scored this higher than I expected them to at 47%. But the audience, which is you and I, are the ones that said this movie sucked. And they said 37%.
That is quite perplexing.
It's usually the opposite.
Yeah.
And I mean, I
can't imagine the audience didn't think Betty White was the best part of this movie.
I mean, I don't know when these reviews are from. I guess it's all the way from the first one to the last one, so that's where the percentage is from. But I think it's a unfair rating, but that's because Betty White's in it. Betty White wasn't in this, then I think. I mean, the writing was great. The writing was solid. First 5-star reviews from Cole S. The critics are a bunch of old goons. This movie is great. Lake Placid is a cult classic, and it's such a fun movie with a great star-studded cast. I don't know if it's a cult classic, but
I don't know if it was star-studded. It had.
I think now it's. I mean, Bridget Fonda is a huge actress. Or at least she was in the 90s. Bill Pullman's pretty big. Oliver Platt. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't say A-lister starred, and it's Betty White.
I was say to me, like, she's probably the biggest star in that movie, but at that time, she wasn't that big of a star.
Yeah,
like everybody knew who she was, but she wasn't like. She really boosted into her role because this is what 99.
Yeah, you're talking about like Philadelphia movie, the TV show.
Oh, Raised in Cleveland. Like she really got her peak in like at 80 is when she really boomed in her career.
Okay, you're insane.
Yes, I am.
Why don't everyone there tell us, what do you all think? Do you think that she only hit her peak in her 80s, that she peaked in the 1980s, that I'm right and Nate's wrong, that Nate's wrong and I'm right?
I think
let us know.
I think like 2010 up. This 1-star review from Unknown. I've truly never seen a movie in which the actors of said movie cared any less than the cast of Lake Placid. No wonder Bridget Fonda quit acting shortly after this film. Did she really? Shut up. Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't think she's had a movie since this movie. I don't know. I don't remember. So, the next 5-star review. CD. It's not just your average monster movie. The writing is amazing, hilarious, and acting is top notch.
Wait, can you read? I think you said a couple things that just didn't make sense when I heard it. I heard what you said, but it didn't quite stick. Can you again? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Average monster movie. The writing is amazing, hilarious, and acting is top notch.
Okay. It's not a monster movie.
Yeah.
Not a monster movie. There's only like 5 monster movies, and they belong to Universal. This 1-star comes from Steve D. A strong cast, but it didn't seem to know what it wanted to be.
Well, obviously, it wanted to be a monster movie.
It wanted to be a movie about a croc.
They did, and it was. I mean, they didn't know what it was. Like, I guess maybe they don't know if it wants to be a comedy or a thriller or whatever. Well, they mix the two. They do that a lot.
I will still, I'll defend this argument with this one statement. They named it Lake Placid, but in the movie, they tell you it is not actually Lake Placid. That's the problem. There's the identity crisis.
The company that sent Bridget Fonda there for that stuff was named Lake Placid. I don't know. I don't know. That expression. Your face just dropped. Like
I saw it and I've never seen my face do that before, but
okay, my last 5-star review is from Marshall P. A delicious mix of horror and carefully written humorous lines. The sheriff takes frequent jabs, which are so funny. This is a high-quality movie with continuous fun. I recommended to my surgeon to watch this flick.
I hope he watched it after the surgery. This is the last 1-star review. It's just not a good movie. Actually, it's rubbish. It does have a few funny visual humor moments as the sheriff is caught in some silly traps. Other than that, it's so very, very bad on so many levels. The crocodile is pretty well done, though, but the attempts at excitement are really not that successful.
That's a pretty good review.
It is. I would alter a couple things. I wouldn't say it's rubbish. I would say this is not the worst movie I've ever seen. It's actually, I thought it was quite delightful. But one thing I wanted to bring up, and I'm glad that this brought it up, the loaded trap. At when the sheriff gets caught in the snare trap,
yes,
and like, you promise you're not going to hurt me, you promise you're not going to kill me, yeah, just cut me down. He's like, well, just got to pull him down. It's a counter lever system. It's really easy. Like, I was like, oh my god, that's just so fucking brilliant. It's so brilliant. It's so funny. Like, it was literally, to me, it was probably the funniest part in the movie was that one part. I didn't laugh. You know, this guy fucking hates you right now.
He's wants, there. He's not responding. He's not acting anyway. He's just like, cut me down.
Yeah. And you're like, you swear you're not going to hurt me? Like, because you know there's a chance he's going to hurt you. And then you're like, yeah, okay, you just got to pull him down. Like, so simple. It was delivered brilliantly to me.
Yes.
It was so, like, there are actors who did very great in this film at acting.
Yes.
There were other actors, like 2 of them, that just phoned it in. Like, they seemed like they were there because they were doing a favor for a friend or something.
And I think it's the main 2 actors. The WTF is from Unknown. One word, bad, despite Bridget Fonda.
Look, Bridget Fonda, fine in this movie. She is stunningly beautiful in this movie. Her eyes are gorgeous, like beautiful woman. The lady policeman, she was a very beautiful woman too. Betty White, also a very stunning woman in this movie. Like, she was so young. She was so cute still, though. Like, cute little old. Just, I just want to have. I want to have cute Betty White.
I watched this movie a while back, and then I watched it again recently here. And I wanted to watch a Betty White movie. That's the first one I thought of. And Betty White, by herself, gets a tree. She's a tree all by herself. The movie could be totally garbage, and she gets a tree. The side characters' relationship to each other was great. Great acting there. The leads were stale, I thought. We talked about that already.
Yeah.
They did a great job with the crocodile for the most part. I know it's an unbelievable story, but that's the idea behind it. So with the croc, the backup actors or the supporting cast who do such a great job in Betty White, and the writing was humorous. I'm going to give this 2 trees and a stump.
You know, I agree. Betty White was fantastic, but yeah, the lead 2, just horrible acting. It was just awful together. There was just bad.
Horrible.
Like, I think they could have gotten anybody else to play opposite Bridget Fonda, and this movie would have landed better. So I'm not putting the blame on Bridget Fonda. I'm putting it on the dude. Like, he was just too pompous. He seemed too full of himself, and I think that really brought the movie down for me. Besides the fact that the how Bridget Fonda ends up at the goddamn lake has no reason at all.
Mentioned it like 3 times.
I'm sorry, but I can't get away from it. I'll believe that an Asian gator or an Asian crocodile swam its way to Maine. Or, you know, sure. But outside of that ridiculous reason for Bridget Fonda even being there, this movie didn't need her whatsoever. And it would have been the exact same movie.
Yes.
Like, the whole beginning part of the movie at the museum, they could have cut that out. She didn't need to be there at all. And you could have started the movie with the billionaire or the millionaire dude be like, I will give this movie the same. You know what? I was going to give it 3 trees, but I will agree with you. It's a halfway movie. 2 trees and a stump. It's a half. Yeah, I agree.
Well, everyone, thank you for watching. Please give us a like, a subscribe, a notification. What this does, it feeds the algorithm crocodile for us to get our content out to other people. Please tell us what you like, what you want to see. Maybe, like I said, leave a comment. So thank you for watching us, and we will see you next Monday.